think we are back. Let's position our fans so it's not blowing on our microphone as much. Hopefully that'll be better. Okay, that's much better. Hokely dokely, everyone. Let's get into it. Why are you like this? Okay. So we need to think about what we're doing today. We have our storylines. We have our interactions. I think what we need to do is plan out our systems and start making our backlog so we can start development soon. There's pretty much time to get going on that, really, which is exciting. Yeah. Okay, so these things I think can all just stay as they are. Let's open up on Notion. So this, this page here with the notes for later, yeah. These things here, I think these can all become pages, to be honest. Or maybe, would you rather do this all on Miro? Or GGD on Miro? And just have like specific things like tables and stuff here and the backlog? Because interactions can replace areas in their actors. This can be gone, I think. This is just like a rough outline because the interactions has replaced that one. So what we should do now is start figuring out our systems. I think what we'll just do is go straight into a slash database full page. We'll name this UMH dev. I don't want to use. Hello, love strawberry shortcake. Do I love strawberry shortcake? I don't mind strawberry shortcake. It's alright. So let's send this name UMH dev board. So we need table view, which is we're going to rename backlog. We have name. We need a milestone select. We'll need a system select. We'll need a status. We'll need a text description. Yeah, text description. Description. And do anything else for the moment? Don't need a person, don't need a date. We'll think about doing date later, but we can add that later. Maybe then just a like priority select. No, I think we're good. So we just open up a new Higgs. Oh, not upload. Let's open it. Is that so hard? That's that. Okay, We've got this and this, so let's do this. Organize our boards. So if we go down this list and we figure out all the systems, so not started, in progress. Go. I'm trying. So we need player movement, which is going to be milestone, prototype. It's going to be system, player, character. Why is it being such a little? So description. WASD movement. WASD isometric movement. Cool. Player movement. Then we need like interaction. Well, what is it called? Interface. I think an interface is the best thing to do with interaction, because then we can have like characters, containers, objects that all have their own interface, and then we can make children from those blueprints. I think interaction interface. I think this, and we'll do interacting. Interaction inputs. I'm not sure exactly how the interaction is going to work yet. Interaction interface, base, functions, and utility for interaction. So then we need persistent game time. Prototype. What would you call this? Like base systems. So in our game time, do we know anything else? Persistent game time. In here, let's say / to do track running game time. Show countdown clock for end of day. Pause time function. Speed up time function. I think we need to know the game time and how that's all running very early on in the project process. And then once we figure that out, we can see if it actually runs the way we want. Run daytime functionality for day, pause, etc. The interaction interface, let's actually say what that needs. Interaction interface, actually, we need to know contains choices, run the pause game time, and it also needs to have interaction event, and it needs to be lockable, and we need to know what else does this need to do like as a base thing. Open UI, and it needs to need to know anything else at the moment? No, that's enough information for that. Interaction inputs. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we need to know a bunch of stuff. I think before you can get onto choices, I don't know if like design wise. So in the game, I want to have like if you imagine the screen as like a someone's car alarm's going off. That's great. Everybody hear that? Imagine a screen like this, and you've got your choices down here, like this thing here, which is like A and B. When you select one, I want to have like two, or like however many dice you need, like physical dice that then get thrown out into the world. I think that'd be cool. You like flick them into the world, and then they roll around. I'm thinking program-wise, it's probably better to decide what the outcome is before you roll them? Or do you think it should actually be physics-based? Is it funnier if it's physics-based? If you like roll the dice, and then they land, whatever, and it's like 5, and this one lands and it's 1. Should that be predetermined at the point of flicking, or should that be randomized? It's definitely easier if it's determined at the point of flicking and this is just like a visual, but I think that's less cool. So choices, base choice system, prototype, choices. Is it choice? Is that its own system? Yeah, choices. So in the base choice system, do be a data item that can be edited. This needs to contain base odds. It needs to contain data to contain base odds. Story event name. I guess yeah, story event name. Why did you change off that? Story event name and display title base odds. System wise, like, should the choice run that code, or like just system wise, I want to think about the architecture here so that we can actually make stuff. Hello. Sorry, I don't read Cyrillic, so I can't say your name, but hello. So if we have, let's do a little bit of systems design. So storylines here. Let's just do it here. So if we have a, let's say this is a container, orange is container. We have an interactable object that needs to hold some data. Then we have the choice data. We also have outcome data, outcome events. I think like outcome events should be based. I think these should be listening. There should be like a do like a green. If you have like a what do you call it? A dispatch or choice or update story dispatch. When this happens, so interact data, outcome events. That happens that way. So choice data goes into update story dispatch. Interactable data spawns the choices and the choice data. Outcome events have their own thing. Are all choices spawned from interactable objects? Choice data. So I need. Oh, this isn't an object really. This is like interactable object, outcome, event, actors. So the choice data is actually held by the interactable object, and then you have the choice UI. Interactable object spawns the choice UI. The choice UI calls the update story dispatch, and then the event outcome actors happen that way. Choice UI player owned. Something like that, maybe. Would be the way I would do it. Interactable object spawns the choice UI. This dispatch, so everyone's listening. So event actors have like a. So this needs a SF bool, and event outcome. This is going to be well, let's do a like this, and then do like a dotted dashed line for listen. So these listen to the update story. Hello. Face purple crying. Is that your reaction to my terrible code architecture? Probably. So then these have a choice data. This has a story event listen data. So where this could be a problem is if you want to use like, if there are lots of actors that can be like attacked, is each attack a different one? And not all events are like listen. Story event. Story event. Like, are there any actors that do multiple things depending on what you do? So the simple one is you interact with the like the wood church fire, the church wood store. You burn it, and burn the church happens, and so all the actors that are to do with burn the church are listening to the church is burned true, and then they do their thing and start burning. When you will get problems is if different things depending on different things. So interactable object, choice UI player owned, update story. They pass the choice data. This then just calls the story event happened or not happened. Does the choice need to know the actors? I think that's a bad way to do it. I think the actors should listen for that. So what wouldn't work in this system? We go back to our like this. What can I do? This. Let me just. So if we have choices of 2 plus item, so the choices hold the base odds and everything else. So that choice data point passes through to here. The choice data item holds like most of the stuff, most of the information. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So, based choice system, data contains. They need to know also base odds, item use item class, item value overrides, story event multipliers, do you need to know anything else? No, I think that's fine. Dice system. This is part of the choices. We need it for the prototype. Base choice system. Manage data around choices. Manage the testing of a choice. So in the dice system, that needs to spawn dice depending on the odds. Brackets dynamically as items or things are changed. It then needs to roll the dice in the world to see what the roll the dice in the world, calculate total, return to return the result to the world through calculate where the nearest vape is. I've never been a smoker or a vapor, honestly. I lived with smokers for many years. The world through full date story event. I guess we'll also need to like somehow manage the. So if a story item, one of them story events. So let's say you have a story event needs to know. It just needs a name. Then like a has happened and success. Because if we just have it being false, then some events might not work. Like, for example, if you've tried to do something and failed, that's different to not having done it at all. But that's probably the save system. I think that the save system should just save the like player location, the locations of any NPCs or movable objects, and then story states. But do all things have a story state? Like, if we have, let's say, a coin on the floor, and you pick it up, does the interactable object just spawn itself on whether that specific coin has a story state? Like, is a story state kind of like a name identifier key for the item? No, because some story states are linked to choices, not items. Well, I guess the choice of have you picked up the coin or not is its story state, so then it is a story state. That's a little bit of a conundrum, that one. I don't know if I like the way that would be structured. Let's leave it going as it is for the moment. So what else does this need to know? So dice roll, despawn, and remove dice. That's what the dice system needs to do. So I guess but that's like I don't know. I don't love this code structure. Because for example, let's go back to the coin one. You have let's show this but in an example version. So let's say we have coin on floor. The choice data is like coin 01. It's 100% chance of success, and that's currently all the data it can hold in the choice. So then when you open the thing, you should display your one choice with pick up, and it's 100% success chance. So then you click it, and the dice shoom, fly out, rolling around. They roll around, and they land, and it's a 1 and a 2, and it's, well, 100%, so it's reached its thing. Maybe we'll go back to a 6 out of 6, so 1 dice. So 100%, get rid of this. So 1 dice, it's a 6 out of 6 chance that it happens. So the 1 dice flies out and it bounces around the environment, boing, 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 and it lands. And no matter what number it says, it's like a 1, it's a tick, a success. So it updates story dispatch and it says, update story, coin underscore 01 has happened, and it was a success. So then what is listening is the player got like an array of events or some shit, and it's like when coin 01 happens and it's a success, receive item coin. I don't love that. I think it's much cleaner if the coin on the floor knows what it should do. Maybe it's different. Maybe some objects know what is going to happen and some objects don't. So all objects when the choice is made, the dispatch happens and passes through. And maybe it's also passed back through to the object to say this choice happened. So coin 01 success happened. And so it's both getting past the outcome actors and it's also getting passed back to the coin on the floor. So some interactable items might know what their choice does and do that. So then this coin would say add item to inventory and destroy myself. And so in the save system, this interactable would know if I'm interacted with already, I should just destroy myself. So it should check its story event, coin 01. I ate oatmeal today. Okay. I ate oatmeal today. Very good mouse writing. Unfortunately, I didn't eat oatmeal today. I had a kiwi. I had some meal prep. I made some mince and chicken with rice. And I also had a mini chocolate cake thing. Your life is complete? Great. I'm happy for you. So coin on the floor. Event outcome actors is none for this situation. Because I think having everyone listening for everything is important. But I also think that if we make this another example of who's an example we can use? Personal projects, if we look at interactions and we say, I don't know, the gambling table, quite a complicated one. The gambling table. It has two choices, which is gamble table and cheat table. And this one's a 3 out of 6 chance. And this one is a 5 out of 6, maybe. So you have a higher chance of cheating, but your downside is way worse. Kiwis are nice? Yeah. And also very high in fiber. Let's put oatmeal up here today. Let's get rid of all this shit. So what else does... so that's that. Yeah, I think that this is going to work. So at this point, you open up, you interact with the gambling table. The player choice opens up, and you get your two choices. And it says these are the two choices. Let's say the player selects gamble table, and then the dice roll out, and it says 1. And it's like, oh, that's not a 3 out of 6. That's not good. So that's gamble table has happened, but it's failed. So then gamble table with a true false gets passed to all actors in the world and the gambling table. And the gambling table knows if gambling table failed, so therefore you should minus X coin or minus... so this is where it gets getting complicated, because like you could bet more than money here. You can bet any currency, right? So minus X, Y from player. So you might have one player, and that then tell the player what to do. This story event needs to know more stuff. Because at the moment, the choice holds a whole bunch of other information. Like, if we go back to our things, the choice is data has all this. But it also needs to know things like how many of the item. Because that changes things. So the fact that it's failed is key. But it also needs to say, because at the moment it feels like a bit bouncy. So for example, in this situation, the gambling table needs to know how much the player has lost at the gambling table. But at the moment, that data has never been passed back to the gambling table for it to do that. So in this situation, it's probably best that the choice sends its result straight out to the player. So in this situation, the gambling table should just this choice, when it gets made and its success, should go straight to the player and tell it what to do. Because at the moment, the choice UI, if it gives it to a story event, which just says true, that doesn't necessarily give all the information needed. Similarly, like if you kill someone and attack them, you can choose what weapon you use. So for our animation, the player character will need to know what weapon the player used to attack. And that's done through a choice. So this dispatch would also need to have a has it happened, a success, a what item was used, and the number of that item. So then we need an X and a Y. If we think that our X and Y up here is the number of the item and the item you spent, this also needs to have all this information as well, which starts making it even more complicated and more like heavy for data passing through all these actors. You have to wonder if that's the best way to go about it. Let me get a drink. My brain juice is back. The Red Bull is back. I think that the interactable object, should be the one to update the story event. So all actors should be listening to the story event, but actually the way it should work is we get rid of all our unnecessary things. The way it should work is the choice UI appears, and then And then what? Should each choice be a blueprint? So at the moment, I was planning the choices to be a data item, but I think the choice itself should contain the code for what happens if it succeeds. I think there should be a choice blueprint that then has a couple of children, which is like a, you know, attack. So all the attack ones derive from this one. And then you have like a give item, maybe? I don't know. I think that the code for what happens at a given choice should be held on the choice blueprint rather than the interactable blueprint. Maybe. Maybe? Because otherwise, this gambling table is going to have code to decide what happens when each of those choices succeed or fail. Then that's 4 events. But I guess the ability to have them be on the choices is only useful if we reuse choices. Yeah. This is all getting quite complicated now. Because, for example, in our interactions, we're going to have a whole bunch of guards, right? It's a generic character. We have a whole bunch of guards. And they're all going to have the bribe and attack options. In the current system, I would need to make a separate data item for every single guard's bribe and every single guard's attack. Which kind of makes no sense. So, story events should probably figure out their name in like a story owning actor underscore story event name. That should be like the string that's used, right, as the identifier. Which means that choices can't just be data points because they need to dynamically update their data as well. Right? Because if you have bribe as one, let's say you just have this big thing, which is bribe, and it's called, let's go back to our development board, and we say base choice system, open it up. It needs to contain, so this makes a new thing. So if we have a thing that's called, the event name is, oh god, I can't spell. Let's say it's like store event name is just bribe, and then we say that let's say bribe guard. Name bribe guard. Display title bribe guard. Base odds. Let's say 3 out of. Okay, 3 out of 6. Use item none. Item value overrides none. Story event multipliers none for the moment, let's say. If you say that the name is bribe guard, the display name is bribe guard, you would have to have a separate single one where the name would be bribe guard 01, and you need another one that's bribe guard 02, and you need to have all of them be their own data point. And let's say you then wanted to change the odds for bribing guards overall, you have to go through and change each individual one of these to say that it's easier to bribe a guard or harder. What would be ideal is if we made like a bribe guard, which is like this, and then when you and this is one data thing in Unreal, and then we have a guard 01 that has this contained on it, and when you duplicate him, he'll dynamically name it bribe guard 02, bribe guard 01, but all of this data about bribing a guard is held somewhere else, but the specific story event. That would make this work. But the problem I have with that is it all seems quite needless. It all seems quite too much for what I want to do. And sure, like this is the base system for the entire game, so it needs to be robust. And it seems too much to make every single interactable create its own dynamic version of a choice linked to itself, because a lot of the choices are only available to one actor. So for example, if we go back to our interactions, if I, for example, click on the witch, oh wait, I didn't fill in the witch. I swear I put in the witch. Okay, firstly let's do the witch. Oh, I deleted the other page. God damn it. Get, or like, buy poison, or ask for poison, ask for spellbook, receive, success, get the poison, failure, nothing, option locked, get the spellbook, nothing, option locked. So for example, in this situation, you do the stuff to the witch, receive spellbook and receive poison. These are the only times these choices happen. But maybe what we can do actually... Ugh. Ah! Ah! Maybe instead of trying to have these all as individual data points that can be edited, what if instead we have like default ones, like receive item choice? And so when I'm creating the witch blueprint, I say her choice one is receive potion, which is of class receive item, and the odds are this and this, and we set up all those values in the witch. And then receive spellbook is this one, and the odds are these, and all those things are that. So let's just see what all of our, if we can classify all of our choices into a nice group. I'll leave I8 on my screen for whoever made that happy. So we've got a choice types. We've got a maybe we should do this just as a text list. Choice types. And we'll go left. So our first choice type is receive item. If I could spell receive correctly. If we go through them all, we've got attack. We have bribe. Maybe bribing should actually put you in prison, player. Let's put bribe down for the moment. Beggar. Update story event. Change odds brackets update story event. Only. Because maybe not every single choice needs to be a story event. Lost cat. That's a that is technically a change odds, but it's a spender. And that's the same thing here. Give charity, give food. Change odds. Yeah, that's just, we're just looking at outcomes, not necessarily inputs for the moment. The merchant stall is spend item, this is receive item, receive item. This is this is cheating and gambling are slightly different because for just the other received items, it's just like a fixed item you receive, not dependent on the odds. Maybe with a gamble should be a different thing then, I guess. Buy drink. That's receive item. Field drink. That's receive item. Borrow gold is just receive item with some other bits. But that could be all specific to the loan shark actor, I think. Repay money is change odds, I guess. Not update story event only. It's more of a you pay the money. So the actual act of repaying the loan, you have a thing and you say gold 3 or and the odds 3 out of 6, and you just receive. It's just, I guess it's just update story event only, I guess. If we say all functions have the ability to do the base things like either have or not. Gamble. Is gamble different, really? It's just a receive item. The item you receive is not specific. It's a variable based on what you spent. So if we go back through and look at all the receive items, so this also changes on depending on what you spent. See, already receive item has a bunch of fucking different versions. There's, just to name a few, there's receive item no 100% success. There's receive item with a cost. There's receive item with a cost, or receive item that has a chance to lock interaction. Hello, Bailey Summer. Or Summer. I'm really in the weeds right now. Trying to do some systems design for the game. And it's kind of getting chaotic. I'm not really sure the best way to go about it. And this is why I'm enjoying indie dev, because I get to learn new things like systems design. Receive item with 100% success. That's easy enough. You just say item class of using is none, and its base odds are 6 out of 6. That's easy enough to do within that. But the cost is sure. So in our thing, if we say actually that the we delete this and we put a new one that says, don't know what that is, which is a result information back through here, and this result information goes back to the interactable object. Then that interactable object, choice data, choice 1 data, choice 2 data. Let's say it holds both those. Then the interactable object from the choice data then updates the story dispatch. They then listen to the outcome. Is that the way to go about it? Is that the way to go about it? I have to imagine not. So how do I actually structure this to make sense? The interactable object should hold the information about the choices and what is going to happen. Yes, that is correct. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah. And the choices, are they what are these choices? What is it? What is a choice? That sounds very philosophical. What is a choice? What I mean by that is it a blueprint? Is it a data element? Is it a thing on a table? Is it a struct? Does it just hold a bunch of data? But then if we go back to doing something simple like just holds data, I don't like that because then a choice might have other things. It's quite interesting structurally. Let's keep going through the different ones. Because, yeah, borrow and repay. That borrow and repay is just a receive item based on debuff. And then there's repay money is just not really it's that's like buying off a debuff. This is probably very boring to watch right now. I'm sorry, everyone, but I need to figure this out. I need to figure out how am I going to structure all this stuff. Because the shit programmer, what the shit programmer would do. Let's figure out what a shit programmer would do first. A shit programmer would just have every single choice you make be specific to the actor. So, like, I make a guard. The guard blueprint has an interaction. When you interact with a guard, it spawns the UI. The UI then tells it which it gets all the data about the two choices. Is the choice just a struct? 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 The choice, is it just a struct? Choice, is it just a struct? A struct would be a choice. Why is that bad? That's bad because the choice doesn't know what happens when it succeeds or fails. All it knows is I guess the thing that gets passed from the interactable to the choice UI can just be a struct. Because that's just the... Yeah. So, here, choice one... choice one odds. Choice one... Ah. 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 My brain juice isn't helping. It's not working fast enough. Ah. Oh, I'm taking out the door. My mic was muted, sorry. Let's go to prove that no one was watching. Great. Okay. I think it's time to open a project and just fucking get started on player movement. So locked, locked ISO camera, locked top down camera. Am I going to do locked top down camera or am I going to do zone cameras? Yeah, so locked top down camera was the movement. Click. Do I want was the movement or do I want click to move? Oh, I really don't know. Click to move. Click to interact. I think I'd like to try and do click to move. So let's open up our Epic Games launcher. 5.8. Literally the first time I'm opening 5.8. Haven't opened Unreal in a while. It's probably going to take a minute to get fucking used to it. Sure, do whatever you need to my PC. I'm yours. Yeah, allow. Whatever. Allow, yeah, sure. Oh, it crashed. Oh, it didn't crash, just closed. Wow. This project's not going to be source controlled. It's just going to be on my computer at the moment. I will try and figure that out later. Figure out a solution for that. Once I have my player movement, the first thing I'm probably figure out is persistent game time. So by like player movement, persistent game time, interactions, that's sort of going down this list is like what I'm going to be doing. And then choice, dice, inventory. Inventory system probably should be up here. Because the first set of interactions will just be like give item, buy something, do those first, and then I can start working on the more complicated options. Because like the whole things won't have health, but things will need to take damage level. New project. Not Intro to Unreal, I think. Top down. Yeah, why not? Blueprint, target platform desktop, quality, maximum, variant, none. Tom users, Unreal projects. Is this where I want it to go? Yeah, set folder. And we'll name it Unfortunate Mara Higgs UMH. Great. Right then, our dev board will get this. At the moment, we're just trying to get this far and understand that system a little bit better. We also want to do a click to move, strip out meshes, simplify player character BP. Because I'm going to be replacing everything with my own skeletal meshes later, either from a pack or something that I make, and I want it to just be super simple at the moment. I just want spheres moving around, make it as simple as possible, don't bother with animations and all that jazz for the moment. So yeah. good. That's my overarching stories. This can go. So interactable object. So the choice data doesn't do this. The this is going to go here, and then this is going to go over here, and this interactable object will always call an update story on the story event, but it will also do this. So it will do the event's outcome, and also that. Yeah. It's going to take a while to compile those shaders. So let's keep on our docs for the moment then, if we've got the time. Let's have a look. I think, what am I doing right now? I am just finishing up my base design documents for this indie game I'm working on. I've literally been working on it for a few days only. And I'm about to open up the fresh project and start ripping out code from the base Unreal project and starting my own stuff. I'm just about to start thinking about the... so in my game, we've got this issue of time. There is like an in-world clock that's going to be progressing. It's because the whole game is based on a Groundhog Day situation where if you die, you restart the day. It's basically a roguelite. Not roguelike, roguelike. You know, where you start the game and you're in a position and you try and get through. If you die, you have to restart from your starting position. And the game's all about exploring different pathways and trying different options. But one of the things I need to make sure it happens is that the in-world time flows well. UE5, how to do in-game clock that pauses gameplay and time and stuff. Can't chat? Okay. Alright. Oh, okay, there we go. Is it on the slow mode or something? Let me check my YouTube settings. Maybe it's on like slow mode. I do not need slow mode. I do not have enough... okay, it's bugged? Okay, good. I definitely do not have enough viewers to require slow mode. I don't know why my YouTube chat doesn't show anything when I'm actually on YouTube. Who knows? Who knows? I haven't decided that yet. I think based on the fact that it's going to be a very short dev cycle, it probably will be PC only. Okay, I haven't opened up the... In this version of Unreal, I haven't actually opened up the top-down before. Oh, it's got isometric camera already. Okay. So we need to do the locked camera first. I'm actually thinking, do I want to do a click to move or do I want to do like that's a very big decision, WASD or click to move, but yeah, it's kind of a big decision to make. I think it will annoy me. I think I'm a WSD player. And maybe the mouse is just not needed. Maybe it's just like WSD E. Yeah, I'll think about that. But I think we're already changing the things. I just decided a second ago that we're going to do click to move, but I'm going to do WSD. I'm going to go back to my plan. Movement. if I think that it's not good, I can always go back to click to move. So, firstly, P. Yeah, that's all fine. Let's consider. Let's consider. Why is there being errors? Is it a you thing, or is it a YouTube thing, or is it a me thing? If I type hello there, because for some reason for me, on like here, I can't see you in my YouTube chat, but I can see you in my Streamlabs. Yeah, I love getting ideas from people, but that's annoying. Okay. That big again. Let's just simplify this. This doesn't need to be all fucking crazy like this. Get rid of all this crap. Do they really need to make this so so interesting in terms of like locations? I think not. I think this is all very needless. So the first thing we need to think about is the fact that if we're going to do a locked camera, so where where's my mirror board? If we're going to do locked camera, so I have, let's say I have my world map like this. This is not going to be the world map, but let's say I have a house over here, a house here, and a house here. The screens, I'll do like 3 screens. Like this, like this, like this. And when you walk off this one, the screen just switches. So the camera is no longer locked. Is not attached to the player. Because right now, in Unreal, if I press play, the camera is attached to me, right, as a player. So I move left and right. But then... So, first thing first, let's get WSD movement working first. I think that's more important. So characters, mannequins, oh god. Fresh projects are such a nightmare. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in content, I'm going to make a new folder, which is UE base. Because I don't really like all this stuff being in here. Move here. Yeah. Let's just move everything. Source. Yeah, okay. I mean, we'll see. If it works on mobile, I'll make it for mobile. But mobiles are quite a hard platform to work for. Why are all these? Do I have redirectors shown? Aye. Let's just update redirectors. Delete unused. Take off redirectors. Characters. Redirectors. Why have we... Oh. Update. So now if we... These two can go now. Yeah, because this is all fine. But why has characters, mannequins, materials? Why is this all stayed? I don't need any of this stuff. I don't want any of this stuff. I don't want it. Yeah. Oh, okay, I can just delete them. Fine. Cool. That's very annoying. Sorry, Tommy. So, we've got our UE base. Everything's still working? Yeah. Great. So let's make a new folder, which is player player. And then in here, in top down, blueprints, top down character controller, let's move those both to player. Move here. Inside of player, let's simplify this guy. So firstly, in viewport, I can't see anything with a frickin' glare. Let's see if I can like move my screen in some way that means I can actually see the screen. Oh yeah, it's too bright. Is that any better? Slightly. I think I can see the screen going up. Nightmare. Summer. Who'd have it, eh? Who'd have it? Okay. So, spring arm camera. We need to think about the camera. The player camera is probably going to have to be a separate actor, not part of this. Yeah, I don't think I want to attach to the top-down character at all. So, okay, see you in half an hour, Tommy. That'll be getting to the end of my. I'm not doing my stream. I've got another hour or so before I need to go. Thanks, man. Speak to you soon. Hope you have a good time with whatever you're doing. So firstly, the arrow component, I can't access it. So let's, on our capture component, let's create a new thing, which will be forward arrow. Name this display arrow. And make it quite short. I'll make it big but short. Screen size. No. Spring arm, camera, yeah. Mesh. Let's just make this nothing. And then, okay, thank you. Caps component, add new. Let's just make the character a fucking cube for the moment. Make it like this, and then. Can I still move it later? Turn off the collision. Yeah, you turn off collision. So this cube, collision, no collision. Save. And our arrow. Hello, Keats. Our arrow. Can I just turn the collision back on? No collision. I'll save. Display arrow should be hidden in game. No. I want to be able to see which way I'm looking. Yeah. Perfecto. Let's actually make this cube a little bit smaller. So firstly, let's turn off the scale snapping. Just to make myself a little bit skinnier. There we go. The lighting is different in this, I swear. Unreal 8, 5.8. The base lighting just looks different. Cool. So now let's start looking at our. I guess it's actually in the controller that does all this. Set destination, click. So at the moment we can just take all of these. No. And just unhook them for the moment. I don't want click to do anything. Why do those? Do you have to add them? Okay, let's just unhook them. Then we can play mapping context. Let's take off that as well. Destination input triggered. I don't want that. Don't want touch input. On player surface. I don't want any of this. So right now, I can't move. For the moment, on our character, let's just do keyboard W. Um, uh, is it this way? 0, 1. It's been so long since I've done like a base character. Keyboard. This is very bad programming. I would not do it like this for the rest of the game. Why is keyboard S not like is this what I want to do? No. I just want to open up for reference. If we go back to Epic Games Launcher. It's been so long since I've done all this stuff. Not 5.4. Make a new 5.8. That's the problem with working on one game for so long is you forget all the fucking base things. And now I've not been on Unreal for 2 months, and so my brain is just absolute mush. But we'll get back into the flow of things. We'll just take a little bit of time. Is there a thing I want here? Maybe just games. Third person quickly. Ref project. I'll delete this later. You're gonna have to recompile everything. I should have done this in 5.8 because it might be different. In fact, I should probably do that right now. Change it to 5.8. 5.4 is fucking old now. Old news. Oh, it's getting hot. Everyone in the UK right now is complaining about the heat. It's a fucking problem. Okay, let's cancel this. This is a bad idea. So, come on, computer. Unreal. Ay. We're gonna be struggling right now. UE 5. Hello? Okay, we're just gonna have to fucking wait for my computer to get over itself. Oh, why is Task Manager now the laggiest software on my fucking computer? I swear old Task Manager would just always work and work great. Because what you need Task Manager when your computer's dying. Which is so ironic for Task Manager that it's now like the laggiest piece of software I own. Let's just try and close it. We'll just wait for this freaking project to open and then close it. It'll take 5 minutes. Okay, we have to just wait for my computer to stop dying. Because Task Manager is awful. I'm not a happy bunny. I really struggle when tech doesn't work. I'm a very calm person, generally. I'm very chilled. I have a nice time. No one bothers me. I don't bother anyone else. Until a piece of tech doesn't work, then I'm ready to throw my computer or whatever isn't working out the fucking window. Okay, there we go. Move. What are like the base functions for this movement? I always forget. Because it's like, you never add, no, no. There should just be like a add movement, add input vector. No. Oh. Okay, we're down to 21 shaders. Guess we'll just wait for that to finish and then do it the old fucking fashion way. So stupid that I'm having to do it this way, but whatever. Whatever gets it to work, I guess. But I'm thinking, like, is even the top-down project the right thing to use? And like the ISO cam, do I want, or do I want? I think I want not isometric camera. I think I want straight-on camera that looks down at the level like this, rather than at a 45 angle. I think just straight on is best. It'll make level designs easier, I believe. Come on. What do you mean still 10 shaders? Got through 6,000, do the last 10. You can do it. I believe in you. Maybe I don't. Can I try and figure this out on my own? Let's just Google it. UE5 base movement input functions. No. Add movement input. Target, point of character. Yeah, it should be this. Target self. Target is pawn. Is this set up wrong? Is it like the wrong type of movement? Yeah, I need input axes. I'm gonna say 1,000. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, it needs to be an input axis. Can't be just W. That's the problem, I think. If we just quickly open up this third person movements. Yeah. Yeah, this is all making more sense now. Okay, so let's do it properly then. So content, UE base, top down, input, actions. If we make a new input action, is it input action or is it? IA move, and we action description W. Triggers. Let's see. How do they set? Because I haven't set up an IA before. How do I set up with a third person? Because that's how I want it to work. Input actions, IA move, has no actions, no nothing. It's axis 2D, vector 2D. But then how does it actually set? IMC default mappings, move. Okay, so IA move is axis 2D. So on my UMH, it should be axis 2D, delete all this stuff, save. And then on my IMC default key mappings, delete click, delete touch, add a mapping for IA move, and then do keyboard W, keyboard A, keyboard S, keyboard C. Then how does it actually set? I could also probably do W S. How's it setting of the project? So it has a modifier, swizzle input axis values. Swizzle input value negative. Then A, negate. What the fuck is this? Oh. I'm doing the game now, just setting up my base inputs. But I haven't used the advanced input system before, so it's a little bit of figuring out. Swizzle, access, add negative, or is it negate? So we go here, S, negate, and then A just says negate. A, D, nothing, A, negate. So now, one second, I'm getting called. Okay, I'm back. So now in our character, we actually set up the input action in this thing. So we're probably gonna do something just like this. So again, play. Cast get player controller class to BP top-down controller, and we'll name this, and we'll get the enhanced get add. Is it that one? No. Get enhanced is valid. Is valid. Add mapping context. And we'll do this one, priority 0 options. Does it have any options? No. So then enhanced. Enhanced input move. Why do I not have a value X and a value Y? Like this one. This should have this, right? IA move, axis V2. So why is that different? They are exactly the same, except this one's an element, this one's elements. I guess that's just a change. Have we just not saved it? Let's first just see what we're getting. Print string. Oh, it's because we haven't split it, that's why. Ooh. Print string append X Y. Let's just see what we're getting. We're getting the right thing. Yep, looks correct to me. So that's good. So now what we need to do is, rather than printing this out, we need to do add movement input. We split the struct spin, and we do maybe like 1. Is that how you do it? World direction. We don't want to do it based on the input direction. It's just, yeah, just 1 scale value, 0, 1 scale value. So this is now working the way I want. So let's now just get our camera set up the way we want. I think actually they are the wrong way around. I think we should switch them around. So this should be here and this should be here. So let's also switch these around. Okay. This should be straight to this one. This one goes down here. So this is just our base movement inputs. That's our setting up that stuff. That's all fine. Okay, so now we need to decide how the camera is going to function and what we do with that stuff. So what we want the functionality to be is, like, you have a camera that's like this. When you go off the edge into a new area, it switches the camera over to that one. And is that just going to be manually set up by me? I think that's going to be the fastest system. I think rather than trying to have a dynamic system of that working, and just make sure that there is some overlap to that. So let's make a little environment that we can show that better. Delete all this random crap that I don't need. Don't know why Unreal's decided that the base levels need to have all this random junk in them. They have. And what scale do we think we want? Maybe for the moment, let's just make one room. So if we have, how should we structure the camera code? I think what we need is like a a camera that points down. It's probably a blueprint that is like room, right? It's a blueprint that says this is a room, and this is the camera that I own. This is the players in this room currently. Okay, so let's do a new. In player, we'll do a new folder, which is input, and IMC default can move into input. Move here, actions, move here. I don't need these. Cool. So then inside content, we'll do a new folder, which is room manager, and we'll make a new blueprint class that is an actor, and this is BP room. So this will need to have a few things. We'll need to have a box. Let's do a collision box, which is room box. Does it need to have a room box? I don't think it needs a room. It needs a this is probably this oversimplified for the moment. So room box, then we'll do room camera, room camera. Let's also attach it to a spring arm. Thank you. Spring arm, just so we can angle it more easily. So if we say the angle of the camera is like 70, so it's just a little bit off top down, and the distance will be like 500. Save. And so if we drag out a new BP room, and we say that it goes to 000, and first things for the room, we're going to have collision check off. Run the collision check. Where's that? That was on the spring arm, obviously. Do collision test. No. File. So let's actually up this to like 1200, 2000. That's more like it. That's what we'll see when we see a room. Actually, on the top-down character, what's the camera settings? 55, and the spring arm is 1400. So if we go to our BP room and set the camera to like 50, and the spring arm to 5000, that's more like it. I think we can also reduce this down to like 4000. A bit high right now. And the room box it should probably be read from a variable. So let's make a new thing, which is room camera height, which is a float. And then we have a new thing that is room box size, which is a 3 vector. And then on construction script, we can not do that. Bring arm. We can set arm length to our room camera height. Our default for this will be 4000. And then also our room box set extent. Set box extents to this, which will default to 100 high, or no, 50 high, and then 300 by 300. So that's like that. So now when we click on our room, then we make those instance editable, obviously, and we'll put them into a category, which is room settings. Control save. So inside of two different room settings apparently. Room settings with a space. Inside of room settings, we can edit our camera height, and we can edit our room size. So for the moment, let's make the room this entire space. We'll probably eventually have the room size be dynamically calculated by how high you make the camera, so that it can automatically always keep the room inside of its visuals. Yeah. And then our top-down character, we actually want to not use this camera. But I think tomorrow I will organise all those other things and get on with the development stuff. But for today, I think we are all done. I've got the project open. I've done the base design documents. I'm excited for what the future holds. Bit of a shorter stream today, but I wanted to make sure that I get through my evening chores because I've got some important meetings tomorrow. So I want to get the paperwork for those all done. So thank you for listening and watching, and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.